Yo, how's everyone doing? Man, just sitting down at my computer for the first time today. How's everyone doing, man? Can you guys hear me all right? Good to see you guys in. Clayton the Great, James Roy, Trader Geo, Gazgano. Thanks for modding, Gazgano. Thanks for popping in, bro. A monologue. Ooh, Babster Loafman. A monologue about growing up with CF and FG. Dude, it might have to be story time with FG tonight for certain. But a little update on Bitcoin real quick, because that's what that's what we're all here for, right? We had an amazing long off the June anchor. This is gnarly. It's to be expected, you know. It's like if we're gonna dump down, which we were divergent, we got that Geo spike wave. Are you in here, Geo? Because Geo put this term in my mind, spike wave, and it really stuck with me, man. And I definitely believe in it. It's where you have a textbook basic strategy play, and then you just have a big rogue wave come in and basically clean the slate. And then the true follow through happens. So, Gio, would you call this a spike wave, bro? This is kind of like what I'm thinking of when you mention that stuff. You have the basic strategy short, the very clear, obvious play, right? And then you have like the thing that stops everyone out, and then it follows through. So, man, thank you for teaching the community that. Definitely a useful like thing to add in your TA toolkit when it comes to reading Market Cipher B, and I definitely resonate with it. But you know, we collapsed from the intraday VWAP. Where do we go? We go to the June anchor, the same anchor, very same dynamic support that launched us up to those levels to begin with. So, you know, this puts June in a really strong. June has been absolutely murdering it, not to be trifled with for the time being. Now, if the price did ever have to come down, we lose that June anchor, there's a really scripted, beautiful short down to the May anchor at, like, it'll probably be at around 66K by the time any sort of collapse underneath the June anchor occurs. But just know that this June anchor is a really important line. Like, you guys are seeing it's acting as very solid dynamic support. And so if we lose it and it becomes dynamic resistance, well then we're looking at probably a week-long downtrend or something like that down to the May anchor. Now, it doesn't really seem like, you know, Bitcoin would want to do that, because that's pretty bloody, right? A dump all the way down, kind of just making like a Batman letter M shape down like that. It's a little bit hard for me to picture as well at this current point in time. We look really bullish. You know, it's hard to speculate on price going down because we're over all of these anchors. It's in ape mode. There's a lot of bullish news going on. You know, people are talking about, oh, it's the halving. They say halving, not happening. But if you've been in Bitcoin for over 5 years, you say happening. It's just like you say hodl. You don't say hold. You say hodl. But either way, people are saying like the happening is finally taking over, and you look at the flows, and you know, who really cares about the flows? But you look at the flows, and the flows are all picking up. Look at the flows spiking up. Absolutely spiking. So, you know, a lot of indicators are saying that we're just going to moon. But when everyone is bullish, you want to be a little bit careful, right? You want to be cautious when others are greedy, fearful when others are greedy, greedy when others are fearful, right? So just know that, you know, we're very strong over this June anchor for now. The June anchor is at 70,127. We're at 71,166. So we got a little cushion of about 130 bucks. You know, if we slip below that June anchor, things could get ugly, but for the time being, we're looking okay. So what I'm expecting here is likely, you know, another little push higher, probably some divergence from that point. You know, a push higher, but the waves don't look as hot. And then we probably contend with the June anchor again. So this June anchor is going to keep, you know, we're going to keep assaulting it until it breaks down, basically, is the vibe that I'm getting. Otherwise, we would just be running from it in a kind of silly kind of fashion. So we are coming back down to the June anchor realistically. You know, the price is acting realistic, right? It is coming down and naturally tapping our monthly support. So it's not doing anything super pumpy, super crazy as of yet. It's not like it's leaving major support in the dust. It's holding good structure. But yeah, I would expect this to, I don't even want to draw anything on the chart, but it's going to probably come up to these highs, maybe even form a slightly higher high, trade in that range for a bit, and then we lose the June anchor, and it's like a multi-week thing down, or like a multi-day or week-long thing down to that May anchor, which will have risen quite substantially for us at that point. This May anchor is coming up quick, and so every day that goes on, it goes up another couple $100, and it's not so big a deal if we correct down to that line. So Ethereum, you know, we broke out of the gulag and then we slammed back down. So Ethereum definitely really proven itself. But look, we're back up over that line, and we had some good candle strength over the all-time high anchor here. So Ethereum's back in a strong position. You see a hidden bull div here, kind of fueling us to the upside, about to trend on a fresh intraday here. I like that, you know, it looks like we're gaining some traction over that volume weighted downtrend, old resistance now support. And Geo, thanks for popping in, bro. Bless you, bro. So Ethereum's looking good, man. As good as it could look. Bapster Loafman says, what if the anchors never get anchored? Do they become cankers? What the heck, bro? If they never get anchored, man, then you don't have your dynamic support, bro, and you don't make any money, man. I don't know how anyone makes any money without these things, bro. But, man, story time, bro. Is it story time with FG? Man, I guess I could drop some nuggets. You know, CryptoFace, when we were growing up, we called him the Goob, or the Governor, because, like, he always had to, he's very alien-headed. He always wanted to be in charge of stuff, but always from afar. Like, he never wanted to, like, physically control situations, but, like, mentally control situations. And, like, he was always like a skinny kid and really funny and really goofy. But he also wrestled in high school, so he ended up being like a tough dude, you know, later on in life. But as a kid, he was the goob. And we had different moms growing up, same dad. So we would often fight because he's the youngest of his mother, and I'm the oldest of my mother. So it's like the second firstborn son versus the youngest son of the first mother. So me and him would butt heads a little bit. But, man, it was good times growing up with CF. Like, we grew up on a farm until I was about 5, and then we lived on the Chesapeake Bay in Maryland. We used to boat on the Chesapeake Bay and catch crabs with our dad. And, yeah, man, he was just always the funniest person I ever knew. Definitely has, like, a strong sense of self, bro. He's got a very strong ego. But he counters that by being one of the most generous people I've ever known, man. So I was never shocked by my brother's success, because he was always like drop dead hilarious and good salesman, a good jokester, a good, just a good kid. But if you guys have questions about me and CF, like questions like that, I love telling stories. So let's look at Solana here. Solana, wow, look at this Solana action on these anchors, guys. I love this, man. I think that, you know, Evan Aldo's in a Solana long. I support his Solana long. I think that Solana could come up another 4.7 something %, because we're holding some good structure on these anchors. It was boring for quite a long time, but it seems like the volatility's kind of come back. You have kind of like a trumpet, like, you know, finally we're starting to see like a volatility pattern. So that's what we like to see, some price discovery, as opposed to this, you know, what it was doing before was this like triangle kind of boring thing. But look, we broke out of that triangle and it's a clean tap of support and then a pump to the upside. So I would think that this rising resistance is Solana's next target, which coincides with the volatility band up there. So I think you could probably pump from like 172 to like 179. Chaos Fitness says, how long did it take to make Market Cipher? Would you make changes to it now? Well, it is hard to make changes to Market Cipher because over 20,000 people have the script enabled on their trading view, and like changes cause all these issues with the server, and TradingView doesn't like us making changes. So it's tough, man. It's tough to like fidget with the code. There's a couple things that people always ask, why don't we have those things? And I don't agree that we need them. Like a divergence tracker, I really don't think that you should have a divergence tracker on your oscillator, because divergence is a nuanced, subjective kind of thing. And like if you just train yourself to only spot the divs that those the coders show you, you miss a lot of divs. If you anybody who's been watching this channel knows that, you know, we spot all sorts of divergences from like above the zero line coming down. Like, see right here, this green dot is above the zero line, you know, but you draw that down to that wave and it still creates that higher low, right? So you have a lower low in the blue wave and a higher low in the price. One way I like to imagine this or teach this to like people in my consultations is like, forget the area of the blue wave. Like, just imagine it as a line, right? And so now you can clearly see that like there's blue wave lows, like a green dot is just a low in that momentum. So if the momentum is creating a lower low and the price is creating a higher low, you have that hidden bull div for a move to the upside. And so div trackers don't catch this shit, man. So I would not add a div tracker to MC. A lot of people ask about red dots, but honestly, I don't even really weigh the green dots that highly. In an uptrend, if I have good trend bias, so I certainly do. Like a green dot from this point on Solana would be amazing, right? Because now we're over all of the anchors. We're in an established uptrend. We've got rising anchor support underneath us. And so now a BitBoy green dot would be amazing if we got a dot like this. But when you're in a strong downtrend, let me see if I can find one. The green dot market bottoms are only, you know, they are not the bottom, basically. They will catch local bottoms, local hitches, little local pauses in a downtrend or whatever, but you just kind of don't really want to be catching knives when there's a whole nother side of the trade happening. So, you know, the dots are cool. I like that it's long bias, right? I like that Market Cipher is kind of a long biased indicator and there isn't red dots, because crypto is a long favored momentum driven asset class, and I don't know, most people long, and I don't even really weigh the dots that heavy anyways. Satoshi Nakamoto says, is a hidden bull div stronger than a regular anchor trigger with no div? I would say that hidden divs have like a decent failure rate. It's like they only have like a 65% chance of actually playing out, I would say. But they are really nice to see. Like if you have all these other signs, like you're in an uptrend that's established, like look at this. You know, we pump over all these anchors, and now there's no anchor resistance overhead, right? And so you get a hidden bull div in an environment like this, and it just goes right up, you know? But a lot of times hidden bull divs don't play out. I don't know if I could find an example for you. But I mean, they also do play out quite often. I mean, you do train your eye to see them everywhere. Like here's a bearish hidden div where, like, you know, the price is clearly creating these lower highs, but you look at the oscillators, the red dots, which are the peaks in blue wave momentum, and you see like the blue waves have come up, right? But the price is still lower. So that's indication that there's like that downward momentum pressure still bearing down on the market, and you might just have to like ebb or flow down one more time or a couple more times. Babster Lopin says, are the momentum waves mostly stochastic RSI mixed with DMI? No. I believe they have something to do with MACD, like a modified, I think MACD is incorporated in there, but I'm not sure, man. I'm honestly not sure. It's between CF and his guy that he coded this with. But it seems to trade very similar to MACD, just maybe a little bit easier on the eyes, I guess. That's my take on that. The stochastics, we do have RSIs. We have the regular RSI, the purple, and then the stochastics, which is the green and red. When we have RSIs already, they're just heavily modified. Like they don't look anything like a regular RSI. But when the RSI is over the Stokes are green. When the RSI is below the Stokes are red. And that's just to let you know that there's like a divergence between the RSIs. So when they are together, you get that convergence, and you typically get a more forceful shore move because both your RSIs are in agreement. Man, I love answering questions on the oscillators, man. I'm passionate about MCB's oscillators. I love the RSIs because I like to look at the 88 level for like overbought, like the overbought threshold, and then I like the counter of that would be the 12 level to the downside. So if like the RSIs are ever crossing up over 12, that's a really good market bottom signal. Like I could just place a line here at 12, and you'll see like the points where the RSIs slip below that, and then the moment they cross up over that, it's actually a very accurate oscillator. This is an oscillator that a lot of people disable from their market cipher, maybe because our tutorials don't do a good enough job or something, but yeah, I mean, you see when we slip below 88, it's usually a reckoning after that. A couple other things about market cipher that are a little mysterious is like the yellow oscillator, which my brother calls the VWAP. I don't think there's a volume weighted component to this. As you guys know, like I teach VWAPs, right? These are VWAPs, volume weighted average prices. These are lines that interweave around the candlesticks. So obviously this oscillator is not a VWAP. It's something else. But my brother and his coder were being cryptic to lay, basically to cover their tracks so people wouldn't copy this strategy, you know, and it took them years to copy it, and they still haven't done a really good job copying it. I've seen the copycats, and the money flow is not the same, which is the most important part. I mean, the trends in money flow are the most important part of Market Cipher's basic strategy, so that really sucks that they can't figure it out. But also their RSIs are different, and like I've come to really respect our RSIs, and I've learned how to use them properly. So the fact that the RSIs and the copycats are just some random RSI that like some loser came up with, like I don't like that. So I don't really think the copycat is a good substitute for the real thing, especially because you don't get the Discord, and I mean, you're also just watching our tutorials anyways, so I mean, you're still gonna watch us anyways, so it's like whatever. Yeah. So there's definitely some things that I'm even a little like a little shoddy on when it comes to the deep mathematical knowledge behind Market Cipher. But I've done so much back testing that I can explain it in layman's terms, and I can use it to tell a story with price. And I just told myself I don't need to understand all the fancy schmancy math. You really don't need to understand the math behind oscillators. You just have to have back testing and a good strategy. Just like how you don't need to know, how every part of a car works. You just need to know how to drive it. Chaos Fitness says, what's the order of importance on Market Cipher B? I would say, objectively speaking, it's got to be the money flow, which is the largest time frame oscillator that ebbs and flows in this kind of larger scale like this, right? So that's going to give you like an overall environment. Like the money flow does so many good things for you. First of all, it's volume weighted. So it's a volume figure, just like my VWAP lines here, just in a different form, in an oscillator form. And we love volume-weighted indicators. But, if you find a downtrend in the volume, see like how these green waves are trending down, grab your line tool and trace that down to the 0 line and create like a descending triangle type of thing. And this is going to give you a brilliant sense of time in the markets. So I use the money flow to give me a sense of time. How long am I going to be in the trade? Oftentimes, you think, or when you're new to trading, you think that you're going to stay in the trade as long as it takes until it either hits your stop or goes to your target, right? But a lot of trades I've pulled out from or reassessed just because like too much time went on, so time duration is a really important factor of your trade. I would say that in the list of checklists of things that you're planning with your trade, add time duration. How long do you think you're going to be in this trade? And I use money flow to do that. So, if you entered a short off of like the confirmation of this money flow downtrend up here, you would, just grab your measuring tool and you would say, okay, 4 days and 10 hours. This is a 4-day swing short, basically. And, you won't catch the absolute bottom. Although I would say that like once this downtrend hit the 0 line, you were pretty much at a bottom there. So it did a good job there of kind of telling you exactly like when that dump would get tired, right? Doesn't happen all the time, but overall it does a good job. Like I could back test this next wave. Let's see what happened here. So this is an uptrend in red wave. That would signify the uptrend getting tired, right? So it looks to me like as soon as we hit that apex, yes, the uptrend got tired and we dump more. Now we get this like little second red blob here, so you'd have to like redraw this, and it extends out further now. You have like this longer trend. And so you're seeing that there's an uptrend in money flow that's now going to extend. Let's see how much longer we got. So we've got like 3 days of money flow trending up on Solana based off of this money flow. So that's why the money flow is so important, bro. It's like giving you this perfect sense of time duration. Something you don't really get with the copycats. And that makes it the number one oscillator on Market Cipher. But in terms of flashiness and like all that stuff, the blue waves definitely do. The blue wave divergences are killer, bro. I always make sure I got a blue wave divergence backing me up on my plays. Like, there was just a bounce on our June anchor recently on Solana, right? Or not, on Bitcoin here. So, you know, if we get a bounce down to a key level of support, you would want to go on some, just look for any kind of div. Is there any kind of sign? If there's a justification, then you could take it. I do see a little bit of justification. You can see, like, it's a little bit hard to spot, but you do kind of have this like downtrend of blue wave, right? Whereas the price from this point kind of it basically like held. So there's a little bit of like a wonky kind of, you know, you can see how there's like a bit of subjective divergence there. You could even extend this out back to like this wave over here. And yes, it looks a little flat, but compared to that's clearly a disagreement between price and oscillator. So yeah, I'm always looking for like a blue wave divergence to back me up. Even if it's not the prettiest, I gotta see something backing me up. Loafman says, how did Fu Manchu mimic the codes? Did they hack and steal or just figure out the gist of it? Man, they've been out for a long time. I'm trying to remember how they did it. I think there's another indicator called like Lazy Bear. It's like a Lazy Bear oscillator thing. And basically all this Lazy Bear indicator is it's like the blue wave component and the VWAP component, and that's it. And so they like took that as like a skeleton, and then they just slapped a shitter money flow and a shitter RSI on it. And that's basically all they did. So, yeah. And that guy who made Fu Manchu is like still broke and still like trying to, and it's not an innocent thing. He's not some guy who's like out to just help everyone get free indicators. Like, you go in his group and he's selling you his own premium indicators. One of them is based off NickCipher. It looks just like NickCipher, but it's got a bunch of extra stuff and he charges like top dollar for it. So I mean, the dude is like, you know, he's just trying to get his lick and piggyback off of someone else's success, which is like whatever. At the end of the day, man, you know, my brother and I were a little salty about copycats, but it is TradingView. It is a platform that supports like open source stuff. And at the end of the day, the fact that so many people copy our indicators and our strategies, it does validate that our strategies work. So there's plus sides to it, you know. Man, Brett has been absolutely killing it. I was looking at the bubbles, and Brett, look at Wormhole. I've never even heard of Wormhole before, but Brett's been killing it. Brett's like the newest meme coin on the block. A couple other names here that I've been hearing a lot that I see performing here: Ordi, Jasmy, Injective, Toncoin. My people have been making me do analysis on these coins for like the last couple weeks. But let's take a look at Brett. So Brett is in these like plus 60 runaway train levels of momentum on the daily. Absolutely crazy. Not something you'd want to get in front of. It's going to take multiple deers in the headlights to stop this truck from rolling for sure. Big blob of money flow. This is crazy, man. That's a crazy money flow blob. In terms of potential upside, we've potentially got another 6.5% on Brett just in this particular move that we're in right now. I don't think Brett doesn't have to be done quite yet with its move that's going on right now. We could keep going up here like this. And that base chain looks really promising. I'm into it, man. I'm into it. I think there's a Coinbase narrative that's cool, dude. Yeah, let's look at Injective, bro, because that coin has been doing really good. And I was looking at the Dixie yesterday too, and the Dixie looks like it's like on the verge of collapse. If it does like lose that rising trend, like uptrend, then I feel like Bitcoin pops up. Like, and that kind of happens at the same time. But we'll have to see, man. Let me look at the Dixie real quick before, while it's on my mind, and then we'll go back to Injective. But you guys see the Dixie like looking like it's collapsing here? So this could be a fake out, right? But we did just lose this trend line, so if this starts collapsing down, that's good for Bitcoin and good for cryptos. Alright, I'm gonna reset everything with Injective here and just wipe my slate clean. Grab my anchored VWAP tool. And first we're going to see how it's been doing for the month. So in the month of June, we're riding that June anchor. That's real nice. This June anchor is going to be more important with time. On top of the May anchor too. So the sell in May, walk away was not a thing for Injective. And in terms of a Q2 sentiment, you know, since the start of Q2, Injective had a bad Q2, but you can't say that anymore about Injective. Injective's now over its Q2 VWAP. And this is the strength that we want to see for Injective to start coming back. Now I wonder, did this wick come down to any major support? Like if I place an anchor at the bottom, like what does that look like? Okay. You can see how like this anchor definitely caught us and helped us up back here, but it's not really helping us right back here. This isn't helping us either, really. It's like kind of chopping. I want to see, like, you know, did that wick get caught by any kind of anchor? Huh. This doesn't even seem like a relevant, like, point in time. So, yeah, it's kind of a weird bottom that INJ formed. Maybe I'm missing, you know, maybe, what about the year to date? What if we slap it on the year to date? Got you. So from the year to date, this is a really important resistance that Injective might be coming up to. If we are going to run off that Q2 anchor on Injective, which it looks like we are, you're looking at a cool 22% pump up to that year-to-date anchor. So to be honest, Injective's had a quite a salty 2024, man, falling under the year-to-date. And then once we fall under the year-to-date, then we have a bad Q2. Ugh. Ew, brother. But now it's over the Q2. Now it's making its way up to the year-to-date. So it's not in a hyper bullish stance yet. There's a lot of like early institutional dirty work gains to be made back to that year to date, but this hasn't even really flipped bullish yet. Like this could, you know, come up, dump down, come up, boom, and then you're in this like crazy, you know, uptrend where the anchor has your back, right? And you're sloped up again all of a sudden. So there's like another mode yet to be unlocked on INJ. Anything bullish on it is kind of, it's in its comeback phase, bro. It's like, it's digging its way out of the underworld right now. Is there a bigger time scale that I could look at this coin? I mean, on the weekly, look at that. I mean, look at that wave. Zach says I'm just scalping the underworld comeback right now on it. Yeah, it's I think that's a good way to put it, man. Whenever you got a coin under its year to date, under like a quarterly anchor, but it's looking bullish, man, it's fighting its way out of the underworld, bro. I think that's a cool way to put it. For sure. You know, this low from this range right here, that caught that wick there. So I was able to catch that. Now, if you place an anchor at Injective's all-time high, this is another level we really need to come over. This is the bearish idea, a poisonous idea that took over the INJ market. If this level at 32 bucks, if we can break over 32 bucks on INJ, we flip bullish on it. But you're seeing NickCipher kind of giving you some leading signs before anything too crazy happens. You already see the yellow oscillator crossing up and the blue dot. The blue wave green dot, I mean. Do you guys see the hidden bull div too? You see like a little nodule trigger wave down there. And then the deeper anchor wave. So it's like trigger anchor, right? How is that bullish? But if you get trigger anchor instead of anchor trigger and you're higher up, that's a hidden bull div, which is a continuation. So the market was going up. You get that, and then it should continue up to some extent. All right, let's look at NIR. Got a recommendation for NIR. I don't like the weekly dipping below the 60. You guys know that that's a sign I don't really like, but that being said, you know, it's holding over as we pump up over some lifetime resistance. That's what we love to see, a coin coming back from the dead. Hell yeah, brother. Coinciding a little bit with an anchor from our all-time low. Got some good structure here. If you place an anchor on this relevant low, this is kind of more of a range defining, a trading range defining anchor. So maybe you'd slap one on, man, I mean, shit, you slap an anchor on the all-time high. We are already trading over that. So, NIR's in a good posture, man. NIR is in a, look at the structure here. You, like, these anchors are working quite beautifully. It is following the rules with the anchors. We come down here, we drudge back up over that one. Find some better quality support on that same anchor. We come up and we are tapping and confirming support on top of our all-time high anchor. Money flow trending up. So far NIR's looking good, man. You're basically at this flat resistance right here. You know, it's a little bit flat-headed. So this is like an obvious level you'd want to look at, like $8. We really got to come over like $8. Then you're pretty much just like breakout trading NIR. And so it's holding over its anchors. It's in a nice bullish standpoint, bro. G-Rod wants me to look at DJT, the Donald Trump, the Trump coin. I wonder if I have to go on Deck Screener. Is it the Save America coin on Uniswap, bro? Like, is it this on TradingView? G-Rod? You talking about Save America or a different DJT, like on different chain? G-Rod has another question too. He wanted to ask about something on like the Bitcoin 6-minute. His question is, do you consider it a div when it's a downward slope on one single big wave, contrary to an upward slope in price? Yes, it is a div. There are divs on waves as well. But divs on blobs, like on a single blob, there's a div on it, don't play out as much as divs across multiple waves, I would say. But they are legitimate. So it's just, the only thing is that, you know, there's a little bit of a lagging component to the dots, and so on such a small time frame, you know, you see the red dot definitely was a red candle, and there was a candle where it paused, but then you get a green dot again, and now we're going back up. So it can be hit or miss for sure with singular blob divs, but that is for certain a div. Like sometimes, you know, it can really play out. Let's see. Like here you see the price like going up a bit higher, but the waves did not. And that was a nice top, you know? So sometimes those single blob divs do play out pretty good. Rye Guy wants me to look at Piv. Let's look at Piv, bro. Piv's having a tough time, man. It's under some lifetime anchor resistance. This is tough, bro. You know, it's a pretty tight range that Pith, it could do just one move and really fix itself real quick. You know, one 20% jump and Pith is in a much better stance. It's just right now it's in the underworld. So you're kind of just scalping this, bro. I wouldn't swing this quite yet. You know, you don't have clear skies ahead. Got you, G-Rod on DJT. DJT the stock. Got you. I hope you're talking about the Trump Media Group. So if we place a VWAP on the lifetime of this goes back to 2021. We had a massive wick here, which creates a really high expectation, a volume-weighted expectation for the future. It means we gotta like come all the way back up to that level of volume and price, you know, for us to get back into a bullish stance on this stock. And you can see how hard of an expectation that was for a long time. You get, I guess, like a cup, you know, potentially a cup and handle. This could be a cup and handle because you're going up, you cup, you handle, and then you go up, right? You might actually be seeing a cup and handle on this, but you are in that lifetime gulag, right? If we slap an anchor on the all-time low, it looks like we've done everything we can to trudge back over that line. We came up, we tested the lifetime VWAP, get a big correction, but it seems like nothing out of the ordinary, and now we're rallying up, and so now we are trading in a pretty safe range here. I would say that now this stock is trading between these two VWAPs here, about 43 and 50 bucks. A nice safe level it's finally found itself in. And if this is a cup and handle, you know, you would expect us not really to like sweep past this low here and just kind of, if anything, just bounce off 43 bucks and go higher. That being said, it would behoove you to wait, you know, for a more stronger reclaiming. It's not quite the time yet to jump into this, in my opinion, until you get a little bit of candle action over this lifetime anchor here, the orange one, and then like the breakout seems more clear, because right now this could still just be major resistance and you're just longing into resistance. Kamayu says, killing it with your consistency, streaming and adding content. Keep up the good work, man. Thank you, Kamayu, man. You're one of my favorite VIP members, man. I loved our conversation. And man, I just am not gonna quit, bro. I'm here to stay. I like where I'm at, but I don't want to get too comfortable. I want to keep like pushing the boundaries and, you know, putting myself in uncomfortable states, trading more, doing more push-ups, going out there more, doing more interviews, all those things. Definitely like the best version of like NickCipher / FloppingGroper that there ever was, right? I noticed like viewership and like participation in general for like crypto streams went down for a little bit, and then it started picking up a little bit, but I'm not taking it too personal. I think it's just like ebbing and flowing with you know, with the markets, just like market cipher sales. Like our sales with the indicators like go up and down with the markets. Like when the price starts pumping, then the viewers start pumping, the flows go up, and everything just happens all at once, bro. It's kind of goofy. But, you know, in the meantime, I like being underrated, and I like handling my business, man. It makes me feel good inside to know that I'm handling what I gotta do, taking care of the people I gotta take care of. If there was this many people that, you know, relied or were interested in my analysis, it's like I should have been doing this all along, man. It's like I always have that thought of like, I wasted a lot of time not pursuing my passion and not hiding, but taking kind of a back seat, you know, almost like an observer role. But maybe that's a motivation for you guys. Like, if there's anything, whether it's trading or any other field in your life that you're passionate about, there comes a point where it's time to stop being a spectator and jump in that game, you know, and be competitive, but you're really just competing against yourself at the end of the day. Rye Guy is a kind of a fly guy, says, have you covered STX? STX. You talking about a crypto? Oh yeah, okay. Let's take a peek here. So I've done some analysis on this on the past. Looks like, yeah, okay. Real nice strong trend. Looking like we're getting like a very bullish trigger wave. Holding some crazy structure here, man. You're in a hefty long, got you. So there's a relevant low, I would say, right here, right? This kind of the market stalled out. You create this like wick here, which I believe is relevant. And we are about to hit that, but let me do like a, let's see, how are we doing in May? May and June. Doing good. So for the last 2 months, we're rallying up, and it really is the start of something good. It's the start of something good here. Let me give you the levels that you gotta watch out for, bro. Ooh, okay, so you know, this is something I'll be very cautious about, bro. Is if you place an anchor at the all-time high, then you're pretty much here, right? So this doesn't bode well for a short-term payoff on your swing long trade, right? This infers a little bit of resistance. We've already seen that. We've already seen the correction off of that. Very important volume weighted average price resistance here. It's like magic how it works, bro. It's like Bob. I'm on some Bob Ross shit, bro. I just click a candle and it's like I just find the perfect line. But it's not me, it's just these VWAPs, bro. But, yeah, I guess this low was caught by, like, this red anchor place down here. I don't know why. So I'm not going to keep it. But, it looks to me like, you're basically ranging between potentially that major resistance and maybe the June anchor. So you've got a lot of volatility here, potentially. You've got like a 10% swing. Make sure that your trade like can handle some volatility, because if this is some major resistance and we do have to reclaim the June anchor and then flip bullish again, I want to make sure you're okay. But if you look at the major time frames, yeah, man, look at those. Look at that weekly, bro. The yellow oscillator's crossing up on you. That's so big. I mean, usually when that happens, I mean, look, this yellow dot crossed up, and you're even early on it. It's not like it's like confirmed crossed up. You're like front running it, and I mean, you can see like what happened over here, like massive, like multiple green candles. So I definitely think you're onto something, bro. Even though we like did hit some resistance, we already did come correct down, right? And now we're rallying back up. So in the short term, what I would probably do is like, you know, slap an anchor down here at this low. This level you really gotta hold, right? You gotta hold this anchor support. You just place a VWAP at that low at like now it's at $2.32. As long as we're over this line, in the short term, you're looking pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, this is pretty much where you're at. You're kind of stuck for the time being in this little tight range here. You want that steady baseline to be held, and you want this to just continue up from here. You don't really want this low to be swept, because then you're likely going to go all the way down to the June anchor again. Yeah, man, we're in the World of Warcraft inn right now. Make sure you guys set your Hearthstone so you can come back later. Someone in the chat said Bitcoin pumping, and if Bitcoin dumb pumps, like, I would not be surprised, simply because like we got this surgical tap of the June anchor. An anchor placed on June 1st. It held us up, and then like look, there was a descending triangle here. It looked like an amazing short, but then we just ping off that June anchor and just go 8 mode, and now here we are with another follow-up long scalp on the June anchor. Dude, the June anchor is murdering it, bro. Murdering it. And I have to remain bullish until we stay over this. So I have an idea in my back pocket where if things get ugly and we do lose the June anchor, then I believe that we do make the play down, the bloody, gruesome play down to the May anchor. Just because look at this space. Look at the area, this gap under there. You know, you could just, boom, just close that. Oh, that would feel so good. God, that would feel so good if we just did that. But, you know, sometimes in strong parabolic uptrends, you don't get that relief, bro. You don't get that rest. So you don't want to forge an idea like that until you lose, like, the current month's anchor. Humor me for a minute. Ask a question, what indicator am I using for the June anchor? It's not an indicator. Just go to your drawing tools, bro, and just star your anchored VWAP. And you want to go on the daily, or in this case it's June, so it's a monthly, right? So you could go to the monthly chart, grab that anchor tool, and just slap it on the month of June. And when you go into the settings, make sure you're on OHLC4 and you don't have the bands enabled. Played the Great asked an amazing question. He says, you think we will get a bear div on the daily? You know, personally, I think we will. Not gonna lie. I've been itching at the mouth. Like I said, I have this idea of the short down to the May anchor in my mind. It's a counter trend idea. We're over all these anchors. We should be in ape mode where it just starts pumping. And yet I can't shake that desire to correct down to the previous month's anchor. Just because of the way I've backtested monthly anchors in the past, like you get May, we shoot up to April. You get April, we shoot down to March, which March, I don't even think I have March enabled, but if you put March here, see how we dump from April to March. So, and it happens on like a weekly scale too, and a quarterly scale. Like it happens on like the biggest time frames. Like this yellow VWAP down here is like Q4 of 2023, and as soon as we got Q1 of 2024, we immediately crashed down to that previous quarter. And then, you know, when we get Q2 of 2024, we immediately start moving down to Q1 of 2024. So from a quarterly standpoint, we always retread. And from a monthly standpoint, we tend to retread back. So yeah, there is something grim in the cards, despite how bullish everyone is. But you just got to be very, very careful about shorting in this kind of environment, because you have up-sloping anchors influencing the price. You do not have volume-weighted resistance overhead. You have some technical, like, pencil neck resistance, right? Like nerds who say that this should be resistance, but the volume is actually down here pushing us up. That's the way I like to interpret these VWAPs. So yeah, it is pretty much like clear skies overhead. So I would not want to short this down to the May anchor until we clearly lose that June anchor, and then that move seems a little more clear. But man, I don't know if I've just been doing too many push-ups, but like I'm cool with downside nowadays. Like I mean, think about how long I've been doing the push-ups for. I've had a lot of time to think. You know, it's like, man, what if I have to do push-ups for like 3 years or some shit? I also have pencil necks in my comments sometimes saying like, good luck doing push-ups for the next 3 years, asshole. You're like, they know where the price is going and shit. And I gotta just say, like, man, like, that would be sick. Like, more time for people to get into Bitcoin, more time to get jacked. Like, I was serious about changing my life with this challenge, so, like, if that happened, I guess that would be good, right? That would be a good thing. So I've learned to kind of take the corrections on the chin, man. Sometimes you gotta learn how to take a punch, man. But yeah, I mean, you know, that Warren Buffett quote, be greedy when others are fearful, be fearful when others are greedy. There's one thing I learned about, I believe it was the March anchor. You know, when we were riding over this, let me zoom in on this shit. I was in Miami at this time, and things were super bullish, bro. Like, Twitter was going insane. Michael Saylor was, like, making the rounds. He was in, he was just, basically, it was this shit right here. It was this price action. Riding on that March anchor. And we did have a major correction. But now we're riding back up, but, like, look at all the all-time highs. So this is all-time high, all-time high, all-time high. And, like, you're just chasing these with VWAPs, and every time it comes back over, you're, like, long again. Oh, shit, now I gotta put another one. Now we're long again. Now we're long again. And, like, you're just chasing these all-time highs and these major corrections after every new all-time high. So just get ready for this type of action, guys. Like, every single time we are going to a new all-time high, there's gonna be like a dump to rinse all that froth and all that FOMO. It's not just gonna be like, oh, the price goes straight up, yippee-o-ki-yay, we're all rich. Like, The bears are there, and they are an ever-present threat during the entire uptrend. Every time people start freaking out and frothing at the mouth, there's going to be poachers there ready to prey on them. So this is some price action I want you guys to be reminded of. This early March action where we were going up, we were forming higher highs like every day, and we were still crashing every day. So yeah, just be mindful of that. It's a signal that you know, when things start going up, take your profits. There's going to be re-entries. Don't think that it can't correct, right? Right now, looking quite strong, man. 2-hour trigger wave, hidden bull div. 8-hour seemingly being saved. It is bouncing off a level that makes a lot of sense, the June anchor. We got some new people in the chat. Mr. Product 19. Product 19. He's like a robot. Oh yeah, we're still checking on the rate cuts and stuff. Yeah, there's still so many factors. Still so much that could happen to us, bro. That's why it's important to quell your, you know, it's okay to enter a long trade and, yeah, man, it's okay. You take a risk. Scare money don't make no money, you know. But, yeah. This was an amazing long play off that June anchor here. The long could continue to play out for some time to come. And I just have plays in my belt, man. That short play is in my back pocket, thinking about it, licking my lips like a Chelino chameleon, like my brother's chameleon. Man, this is like the Michael Saylor neck roll pattern, bro. Over here, like early March. So like just remember this, like when Bitcoin starts forming new all-time high after new all-time high, think about how corny that shit is, bro. It's like, stop saying, oh my god, new all-time high. It's like, we get it. We are higher than we were last bull cycle, and we are going up now. There's no such thing as like that term all-time high anymore. We're just like in price discovery until further notice. So it's like, that's a dangerous term to be thrown around in a bull cycle, because like the moment you scream all-time high too loud, like it gets shorted, you know. So yeah, Michael Saylor will be coming out squawking like a parrot, and his neck rolls will increase. He gets a new neck roll like every month of the bull run. Vestige says, what's your take on Gem? I don't really have a take on that, but I could look at the chart. Okay, GME. I was hoping you weren't. Yeah, I mean, I had a good take on GME. I'm glad you're not making me look at that shitcoin. I mean, look at this shitcoin though. That's some gulag shit right there, man. I wasn't gonna judge you, man. I wasn't gonna judge you. Oh shit, I'm looking at. Here we go. Let me look at stocks. All right, here we go. Wow. How recent is this action here? Damn, bro. Okay, so GameStop has come up. I mean, I hate this freaking chart. Look at all these gaps and all this bullshit, dude. You guys really want to trade this shit, dude? But, let's see. Coming up over that May anchor. Coming up over, I believe, the June anchor here. Yeah, man. Sheesh. Man, oh my gosh. This is gonna... Look at the slope of these rising VWAPs, man. Influencing the price to the upside without even needing to touch the price. Jimmy's looking mad strong, dude. Coming up over that high, leaving that gap in the dust. It's like, was this like a 618 retracement? Yeah, you get like that golden retrace of the gap and then leave that gap behind. That's sick, bro. It's like a technical fill. And now we're just going up, man. Are we at the top of the volatility band already? Let's slap in a volatility band here. Oh, man, this shit is fucking... Man, it's already showing, like, small time frame divs, but, like, as you go up the planning time frames, it's just way up there, bro. What a gnarly looking... Like, half the chart isn't even here, bro. It's like a hillbilly. This is a chart for hillbillies, bro. Imagine like a hillbilly with like every other tooth is missing. You trade this shit if you're like banging your cousin, bro. Man, Bear Pig, are you asking me when long on BTC? What do you mean, man? It's the time to long was earlier today. You got a really sick long. I called this out in the VIP, bro. This is like, if you believe that the June anchor was the bottom, the time is nigh to long. It's okay if a trade gets stopped out if you're using risk management. You know, it's like you gotta go for it. But if that trade gets stopped out and we lose the June anchor, then like I would expect a short play to manifest. Rye Guy's a fly guy. Wants me to look at Brett again. I believe that Brett has some more energy left in it. He's no longer that kid at the pizza party who's crying and wants to go home to his mom. His mom put him in hockey, and now he's like really good at hockey, so like he's a douchebag now. And now he's picking on everyone else. So I think Brett could pump another 5%, potentially even 10% before a substantial pullback. It wasn't even his dad. His dad's gone. You know, he has no dad. But his mom put him in hockey. I'm glad you guys like the way I did. Dude, sometimes, man, I just have these stories in my head of these coins. I think of a whole, like, sitcom show with these freaking coins, man. I come up with the goofiest ideas, bro. I want like one thing I've been thinking of lately that I can't get out of my head is I want like a choose your character screen where it's rotating and it's like all of the market cipher influencers and their walking animations. So you have like Crypto Face like with his mask walking, and then like it rotates, and it's like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 intro screen song, and it's like the market cipher, it's like choose your character or whatever. Like I have like stupid ideas like that too for content. I just like don't have the talent to make them real. I'll listen to songs and I just imagine like highlight reels of our people, man. That's why I got this camera, bro. So like I've been going into the mountains and like taking the push-up content more seriously. So I did get a nice camera, and I want to get better at filming and shit, because like I'm a meme lord, bro. I got to get good at like the actual creation component. I'm like an ideas guy, bro. I'm like the script writer, you know. Yeah, dude, you might have to choose Jason Casper. Yeah, bro, yeah, I think Geo is short. Geo's like 5'3" or something. Jason Casper is like deceivingly huge, bro. Jason Casper sounds like the nicest, sweetest guy of the entire bunch. But he's like 6'2", and like 240 pounds of like pure muscle slab, bro. He eats like, he has so many chickens and he harvests all their eggs. And I think he's eating all those eggs, bro. I think he's just a monster who like devours like an entire chicken coop of eggs every morning. Like I've seen this short where he's like, it's egg collecting time. And I'm like, Jason, like, how do you need this many eggs, bro? Like, you live in the middle of nowhere. He's like Eustace Bags living with Muriel. Like, he's not throwing these eggs out. He's eating these eggs. He's probably like drinking a fucking blender full of eggs. And he's just like huge, bro. I feel like if you eat enough eggs, that it's probably giving him like, he's probably like ODing on like human growth hormone and shit, bro. He's probably like fucking, dude's like on, he's on like natural steroids, man. Just like devouring all these chickens' children, man. But he acts so nice. He's so like, he's like so like, his voice is like not, his voice isn't high. But he's just like a really nice dude, you know? And for years, Jason Casper hid behind that little cartoon version of him. Do you guys remember that cartoon picture of Jason Casper? So you think he's like some kid. And then like we saw him on the treadmill and I'm like, bro, what the hell, man? You're a freaking monster, bro. But yeah, man, Jason Casper is like a role model. Like when I started this channel, I made it a really big deal to point out like that Jason Casper was really ahead of his time and definitely a model for like what I'm trying to do for MC and like for my brother and for myself. It's cool to know that there was a man all along doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's freaking cool, bro. It's like I hate to go back to the Titanic again, but like you're watching the Titanic and you're like, who's the hero, right? Is it Jack? Is it her fiance? Is it the captain? You know, who is the hero of the Titanic? And like all these men who think they're hot shit come and go, and eventually the only man left at the end of the story is the lifeboat man. The guy from the very start of the movie who like is just saluting and like just doing his job, never partied. He was just there all along, ready for a crisis to unfold, you know? Now it's Jason Casper, bro. Jason Casper was like the lifeboat man of MC. Just that, he was that guy that was like always there, ready for anything. And like, maybe not the main character, but like by the end of the story, when shit hits the fan and reality sets in, it's clear who the real man was, you know? So for that reason, Jason Casper's like, you know, I'll always look up to my brother, but Jason Casper's like one of my favorite traders, bro. Definitely solidified himself in the MC culture for life, man. He's got my respect for life. Rag out to me to look at FET, and then, yeah, then we'll do our conclusions. But, yeah, looking at FET, wow, look at this downtrend on FET. Holy shit. Man, you know, you're right at that bleed point, Rye Guy. Look, bro, look, do you place a VWAP right at the all-time bottom, though? And we're right there, bro. So, this point of pain and nihilism, and you just want to, like, cut yourself and jump off a building if you, like... Oh, wait, this is a stock, bro. I'm an idiot, bro. Either way, this stock is hitting its VWAP low. But I'm sorry. I need to look up crypto. But I will say that this stock just hit its VWAP low. So if this is a good stock, this stock is like at a low here. But I'm tripping, man. I did not smoke weed. I'm just like... Sometimes I get spaced out, bro. Alright, here we are looking at FET, the coin. I don't like that we're not holding the steady baseline place at this low here. You know, you get a substantial correction, a healthy correction in the market. You would want the price to be acting nicely and trending on this, right? It's not doing that, but it is trending nicely off of this VWAP place at that old low there. So FET seems to be holding a good bottom here. Not out of the cards yet. It's probably got a, I mean, if I go down to the planning timeframes, I bet there's a long. You've got some good support down here. You've got, looked like some bullish action, then with like a spike wave. Not seeing too much justification for long necessarily yet. Not gonna lie. But FET is just kind of ranging, you know, you're in the gulag. It's a good gulag for scalping. This is a good scalper right here. You long that shit, you take profits at that, the steady baseline from the recent low. And then at the all-time high anchor, that's another good point to get out onto if you did long at these lows with a stop loss a bit below that bottom anchor at about $2. We really got to hold over $2 on FET. Dude, it's this like Skyrim music, bro. It's got me sedated me. Alright, last coin of the night. This is Floki here. Floki having a good rally off of its June action here. Running from that May anchor. Running from the all-time high. Yeah, man, we're... At this point, we're looking at upside targets. How high could we go? We're already hitting that upper volatility band. I'd expect us to be getting a little bit tired at this point. I think a correction down to the June anchor is in the cards here. If I had to guess, I would say we come down to that anchor down at 2.9. And then we go back up to the top of the volatility band and kind of go bullish again. Yeah. Yes, sirree. If anyone's still in here, and you are on the fence about NickCipher, hopefully my analysis changed your mind. I think we did some good explanation of like NickCipher B, and like we talked about the copycats and how they're bullshit. We covered a lot of stuff about NickCipher, but if you're interested in the package, if you have any questions, you could shoot me an email, nickcipherfg@gmail.com, but you could use code LIGHTNING, 15% off. Get the package, click my link in the description. And we got some merch. We'll have some new merch next month, but we made some shirts for Platinum Mike Perry to wear on his podcast. So if you want a Platinum Peasy shirt or tank top, go ahead and get one. And we got these cool NickCipher tanks too, with the empowering traders on there. You know, empowering traders was something that was my brother's idea. And then, you know, I went on this path, this kind of like fitness kick path with the push-ups and stuff, and it just kind of converged where, and Mike Perry is a good tie-in of the thread too, Mike Perry being in the fight business. We're kind of like blending all these worlds together, bro, the fitness and the finance together. Empowering traders, man, that's a good slogan, man. Not just physically though, it's like in terms of mentality. Discipline is hard to achieve. Well, you know, actually discipline's easy to achieve if you just simply give in and give yourself to a cause bigger than yourself. Like if you go in the military, no one in the military like struggles with discipline, because like now you're serving your country, right? And like I had issues with working out every day, but I just decided to do it for Bitcoin. It sounds stupid, right? But when you succumb to forces greater than yourself, And discipline just comes along with that. So you have that initial motivation, and then you just have like an automatic sense of duty, right? That's a really good empowering mindset to have, is a mindset of duty, perhaps to your family or your business or whatever it is. But that's a good way to seek empowerment, is through a sense of responsibility. So I'll leave you guys with that. You know, got some good lessons, had a good chat with you guys tonight. You guys have a good night, rest easy. Let's have a good Friday tomorrow.